it's been wonderful. I had no idea the scale or how big it was until I got here. So it's been a very pleasant surprise, and it's been a great experience. So I hope to come back. So I think with challenge comes opportunity. So I think yes, it becomes more difficult to try to reach shoppers, but at the same time, I think if you're able to do relevant work, compelling work, in a creative and you're able to tell a story, I think you're able to make it work. And actually, you'll probably stand out because of this, because of exactly what you just said, the situation as it is today.
Yeah.
So I think, at least for us as a global company, I think it absolutely is necessary and critical. And for the reasons for that are that we want to make sure that when we're developing work, that we're doing so in a way that can travel and can be relevant for a variety of markets. So for me in my global role, my responsibility is to be able to make sure that we have work that can be networked and deployed across markets. So thinking about not just shoppers in the US, but also shoppers here in Turkey, as well as shoppers in other markets, such as Myanmar, for example. Again, one of our more recent markets. I think it's I haven't had a chance to visit too much, given that I've only been here one day. But from what I've seen, it's very interesting for a couple of reasons. First, just the market dynamics of Turkey and sitting at a crossroads between Asia and Europe, I think makes it a very interesting and unique market with that regard. At the same time, though, I think there's a lot of common elements or commonalities with a lot of the other markets I see. Right, which is that you only have 3 seconds to communicate to a shopper when they're in the store, right? So I think that I've seen both good and not so good examples in all markets that I go to, and I would say that in Turkey I think it's definitely that same situation. I will say that I've been very pleasantly surprised with what I've seen from our execution in terms of having various packs and various brands available to our consumers. In the grocery store that I went to. I believe so. And actually, when we think about creative behaviors at the company, bravery is one of the ones that we think about first and foremost, because I think that you have to be intelligent in taking risks and doing so in an intelligent sort of way. But yes, I think bravery is absolutely critical, not just to shopper creative, but to all creative as well as any type of work that you do. That is where I think the art comes in. So I think when we think of data, we typically think of science because it's so calculated and it's so analytical. But to me, where I think how you make it relevant and how you make it compelling is by being able to translate data into insight. And that to me is where I think a lot of the art comes in. So it means less producing complicated data tables and more about telling a story about our shoppers. So for us, specifically in shopper marketing, I always say that we need to make sure that we understand our shopper story and that we're able to understand it and be able to address what's important to them. Well, there's varied, right? So I think the one that comes first and foremost to mind is smaller trips, smaller baskets. So people are shopping in smaller amounts, but they're doing so more often. So instead of going and buying, let's say, 50 euros of groceries once a week, you're now buying 10 euros 5 times a week instead. So how we understanding that dynamic and understanding what's important to shoppers on those smaller trips is one of the most important trends in the shopper marketing space today. So shopper marketing is a critical element of content. And the way we talk about it at the Coca-Cola company is integrated marketing campaigns. And in order for a campaign to be truly integrated, it has to include both above-the-line elements, so TV commercials and out-of-home print, but also below the line, or what you would see in terms of in-store communication as well. So when we think about what I presented today, and we think about the shopper marketing, the way of shopper marketing, it is part of our overall framework as to how we think about marketing. So when we think about our DNA as a marketing organization, shopper marketing is a part of how we think of IMC, integrated marketing communication. I think it's great. I think anytime we're able to celebrate our legacy and our history, I think it's a great opportunity. So I think from what I've seen, both from other consumers, but also as myself as a consumer, I think it's really neat, and it's something that people will want to have have as a memento of prior times. So I think it's a great idea. Absolutely. So this is a project that we did with our Limonada brand, which is similar to Capi here in Turkey. So it's the leading juice brand in Spain, and the premise is very simple, which is that as the temperature, the temperature rises in the country, in this case Spain, the price of the product actually drops. And the reason for that is because we wanted to make sure that we make our product readily available to our drinkers, and there was no better way to do that than to recognizing the fact that the hotter it gets, the more refreshment you need. So we wanted to make sure that we made it even that more available to them when they were in these amusement parks. So it actually, the machines were available in I think 13 locations around Spain. It was promoted initially in 2012, and has since been repeated for 2 years. It's been a great success. I think it has to do both.
Both.
I think one without the other cannot live. So I think you need to do both well.
Perfect.
I hope that's okay.
Efrain, thank you very much for coming here.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's been great.